raising button shall be turned up until after he has finished talking, okay? So go ahead, sir. I leave the time and space for you to engage us. I shall
Okay, thank you.
myself now. Yes.
Thank you, Ven. Your topic is very timely, is very important, because religion is supposed to be an instrument for development as well. Ethnic groups supposed to work hand in hand with one another in building peace and development. But unfortunately, in Nigeria today, the two have proved themselves to be an instrument of destruction, killing, insecurity, and other vices in the society. It's supposed not to be like that, but how it happened and how it is happening today is because we are very unfortunate to misuse and abuse religion. We are very unfortunate to misunderstand and misuse ethnic inclination. Why I said so is because people are humans first before they become Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, or whatever. And we are human first before we become religious. Whatever choose we made, whatever meaning we gave to religion, we are human first. And you can't find religion in animals. Why? Because the Almighty decided not to engage animals in religion because they have no qualification to have faith. But we, as people, have that qualification to become religious and to involve in interaction with the Almighty. What is that qualification? That is the answer. The question. And if we can get the answer right, then we can solve our problems using religion. That qualification is sense. Because we are sensible, because we have mind to think, because we can differentiate between good and bad. That is why the Almighty sent his messengers to educate us, to enlighten us, to show us the way. But the way to where? I want to believe that every apostle is teaching his people, that he is guiding them. He is showing them the way. But the way to where? If we agree that religion is showing us the way to heaven, then we have to also appreciate the fact that we cannot be moving to the heaven without being alive. We cannot move to the heaven without being in this world. We believe that this world is a transition to go to either eternal life in the heaven or eternal life in hell. What is the right, the appropriate way to differentiate between a good life in the hereafter and a bad life in the hereafter? The way we live here is the indicator, is the one that will tell us that we are moving towards the right way to heaven, or we are moving to the other direction. Here in the world, our interaction with other people define our relationship with the Lord, the creation, the creator of the world. If you are living in good terms with your neighbor, with your friend, with your family, then that is an indicator that you have a good faith and good relationship with the Almighty. Because in all the religions, you find there are what we call cardinal virtues. These are virtues that will make you live in a cordial relationship with others. If you don't have that cardinal virtues, you can't say that you have a faith. You can't say that you have a religion. There is a proverb that I always like to say: show me your deeds, I will show you your faith. That is to say, if you have a good good interaction with people and with animals as well. No, I want to add with environment as well. You have a good relation with with people. You have a good relationship with animals. You have a good relationship with the environment, and you have a faith in the Creator who created the people that you are interacting with, who created animals and put you above the animals, who gave you ability to live in the environment. Therefore, we have to prove our faith by engaging in a good service to humanity. Religion is not service to the Lord alone, but it is service to God and man. If you don't know how to serve the Lord, serve humanity, then you will be close to the Lord. If you don't know how to engage the anger of the Lord, try to destroy the environment He created or the animals He created, talk less of involving in criminality among humanities. So, with this, we can say that religion is supposed to be an instrument of peace, an instrument of improvement and development. As well, ethnicity supposed to be the same. The mistake is not from the Lord who created us in diversity, who gave us a different kind of religion and languages, who created us in different places. But the mistake is from we who don't understand the power of the Lord who created us by choice in different color, different shapes, different languages, and with different capacities. So I think the topic is timely and very, very important. Can I stop here or should I continue?
If you have some more to say, sir, you can go on. But thank you so much for breaking and just explaining about religion. It's really, like you said, timely because of what is going on today. MK, I would give you a few moments, sir. If you can touch a little bit on ethnicity too, we would appreciate that. And then MK can come up after you. Hello, everybody, again. Welcome to this interesting discussion. If you have questions about religion, ethnicity, and what is going on in Nigeria and how they are being used as tools for insecurity or political tools to cause all the menace going on, please feel free. We'll have time for that, and you can raise your hands up. I would open up the raise hand button so you can come on, or you can send a back channel to either MK or myself to go on with the discussion. But sir, if you want to talk a little bit about ethnicity, we would appreciate that.
Okay. Um, Talking about ethnicity, we have a verse in the Quran which the Almighty explained why he created us in different nations and tribes. He said, "O mankind, we have created you in different nations and different languages so that you may appreciate one another. But the most honored among you to me is that who has piety." If we look at this, we can see that the essence of having ethnicity or different ethnic groups is for easy identification and appreciation, not for killing one another. If we are looking for Ben, we can have many Bens, but if we say we are looking uh, for Ben who is a Birom, this is a way of identification, for instance. Or if you are looking for Muhammad and you say that Hausa who was born in Jos, this is a means of identification, not a means of killing one another. One stereotype belief that we have is, hence I am Hausa, I will say that every Hausa is excellent and every other ethnic group is bad. Or if someone misbehave, I will look at him as, oh, no wonder he is Fulani or he is Yoruba or is this. This is not the way it's supposed to be. The way it's supposed to be is we give uh, criminal his name as a criminal, a good person his name as a good person. We don't associate qualities of man, individual qualities of man, to generalize his people, or the other way around. His bad attitude will not reflect the generality of his ethnic group until we start to associate with people as they are individually. We cannot change the narratives of using ethnicity wrongly. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Sheikh Muhammad Khalid. Very, very inspiring and interesting. You have, and this is just to support your point, you have laid a philosophical and ideological perspective to how religion should be employed in the promotion of an advancement of human society. And you have established that the difference is actually between good and bad. And what should unite humanity is the highest advancement of the human being and how he is able to use whatever religion from a philosophy or from an ideology of advancing the betterment of every human being and every society. I guess perhaps it is this the lack of this and the degeneration of the philosophy behind religion, whatsoever the spirituality people attribute to it, that makes any religion the what that it is from what you have laid out. Um, but I'll probably push all of these philosophical and ideological questions deeper into the context, particularly the Nigerian context, and how insecurity and, of course, competition, negative competition in Nigeria, if you like, has fed from the way ethnicity, religion, and the politicization of both had led to the type of conditions of economic decline and security challenges that we have. What would be your specific take on a couple of issues that have happened, and I'll probably take them once and for all? The fact that there is the broad sense, because you have talked of identity and you have talked of ethnic identity, for instance, and you have also talked of religion and, of course, religious piety and worship. What is your take in the way that because you have said we should judge people from the perspective of their individual use? What will you look at when we see the aggregation, the collectivism, a set of collective use of that in the way people perceive the Fulanis across Africa, from Senegambia down to these things, and the expression of that by a majority? What will be your take? What will be your interpretation? What do you think is happening with that large groupings of Fulani interest around the use of ethnicity, like we see the Fulani ethnicity, the use of Islam by the Fulani ethnicity, the use of political and governance issues with the Fulani ethnicity, to sort of create the type of conditions that we have here? What would be your take? Because this is the perception of people. You see in Nigeria, the federal character realities in Nigeria are abused. We see that the lack of economic productivity in Nigeria is challenged because of the fact that there is a whole lot of arms and begging rather than taking people to school and being productive. And then the use of politics to, harness all of these issues and create conditions that creating displacements, displacements and conflicts in farm settlements with cattle and so on. All of these things are the type of things that are generating this. Can you then contextualize and give us a sense of what you think is happening with this in regards to the Nigerian ethnic, religious, and political and economic conditions? Thank you. It's a long question, but I just wanted to raise the elements of that are visible in this, which is religion, ethnicity, politics, economics, and even security forces, which is directly related to that, and all the conflict that it is generating and all that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this technical and wonderful question. I call it technical because of the way you frame it and the way you presented it. First, I want to appreciate the fact you raised that we have politicalized everything. Now, if you look at the Fulani issue, you cannot understand it from the Nigerian context without looking back, present, and then think about the future. What I mean by looking back is we had the Damfodio Jihad, which is called by some people the Fulani Jihad, and which is perceived by many Muslims as a holy movement to shape the Muslim behavior during that time. But whatever way you look at it, there is the fact that Damfodio was Fulani, and the majority of his soldiers and followers were Fulani. Now, looking at what is going on in Nigeria today, you look at the present administration is headed by a Fulani man. And you look at the scenario of what is going on. I have been to Rwanda for a case study of genocide. And I've understood that there is a very close similarity between what is happening today in Nigeria and what happened in Rwanda. Because when you generalize people, a category, a category of ethnic group, and start campaigning and making propaganda using media and other ways to, to discriminate them or stigmatize them, then you are inviting genocide. I did not disagree in any way that majority of those who are kidnapping today in the north are closely or largely Fulanis. But how can you now look at their proportion in the Fulani, in the general Fulani, and call Fulani criminals? Now, it is therefore good for us not to look at that dimension. What dimension are we supposed to look at? That a criminal is a criminal. Don't give him a tribal name or a religion name. Just call him a criminal and make sure that justice is done against him because he's a criminal. And justice is done for the victims because they need that justice. Here is why we must talk to the government in the way they will understand that it is their duty to arrest, investigate, persecute, and punish whoever is terrorizing Nigerians, no matter whether he is Fulani or he is Hausa Fulani or Igbo or Yoruba or what. What we need in Nigeria is justice. You talk about character. If we are trying to promote justice in Nigeria, we are supposed to look for professionalism and qualification in appointment in Nigeria. I repeat it, professionalism and qualification. You can add to that any other aptitude that will make somebody qualified to take a position. Why can you say that you reserve 5 positions or 6 positions in Nigeria to the 6 geopolitical zones, even if the other zone has no qualified person he must produce? We are not doing justice to our country. If in a very short period of time, a family of George W. Bush will produce 2 presidents of the most powerful country in the world, in a very short period of time, one family produced 2 head of states in America, 2 presidents in America. And at the same time, their brother is a governor in a state. Then what are we telling ourselves? That we cannot have a Fulani governor in Imo State or a Yoruba governor in Kaduna or an Igbo governor in Kano with votes, not by appointment. We have to come back to our senses. We have to build a new Nigeria that believes in qualities, that believes in professionalism, that believes in justice, a Nigeria that is built on agenda, an agenda that is looking for a future. On children. So we have to say no to anything I repeat again, what we are doing today is destroying the future of our nation, our unborn children. We have to stop that. We have to start giving appointments, not because of religious background or ethnic inclination or sectionalism. We have to start giving appointments in Nigeria because of qualities and qualifications. Thank you.
Okay. I probably would have asked more questions, but I'll just ask one and reserve the others for others to ask. Maybe they may also push that. But for now, I am looking at the law. And when I mean the law, I am combining two elements in the law as it is. And that sense that justice is about participation, justice is about inclusion, justice is about respect of diversity, justice is about following the proven system. You just mentioned America, proven systems of inclusion, participation, diversity that then allows the best within a diverse system to emerge. When people seem sure that, okay, the higher qualities are to make people who are professional, who are experts, who are integrity, to compete among themselves. And that is why perhaps they create constituencies that allows people to come from constituencies and allow constituencies to elect the best in terms of integrity, the best in terms of professionalism, the best in terms of competence, so that when they all come together, they compete among themselves so that the best of the best emerges. That, to me, is the sense in which I understand inclusion, diversity, and models of government that allows things like federalism to play. But the context in which you are describing this does not seem to even acknowledge a federal system of government. It does not even seem to respect diversity. It doesn't, in fact, it goes ahead to probably give the impression that only, for instance, security services that should be very, very delicate in terms of federal character, which is a law and a part of the Constitution, should then respect people to bring people together from their best in their own areas to become there. Is it that we don't have? Are we to go with the notion, particularly because it is generating a lot of concern and dividing the place? Are we to go with the notion that the current conditions that are causing crisis is out of a respect for professionalism, to the extent that we do not find an Igbo, for instance, man that can be in the security services, for instance, and then it generates crisis, or there are no people from Middle Belt or Niger Delta or whatsoever, other than having mostly Fulani and Muslims dominate the thing when we are looking for respect for diversity and the federal structure and the federal character that we have defined ourselves with. I mean, those are very pointed questions that I'd like to see placed in context against how ethnicity is being used, so that we are now talking in context, not just the ideal.
Thank you very much for that question. I want to believe that the context of Nigeria, or the present situation of Nigeria, need to be addressed from different ways. For instance, what we need first is respect. I agree to that. We have to respect all the ethnic groups. We have to have an inclusive government that will include every part of the people, that all the ethnic groups will agree that they are part and parcel of the nation. Then we now start thinking of removing that notion from our minds that we need Fulanis, Hausas, Igbos in the security, not the security itself. What we need is to agree that if you want to be the head of the security, you have to be the best. But we have to have that respect first. We respect each other. We respect our rules and regulations, our constitution, our laws. We respect them. We respect everything and everybody as people. Before we understand that now we need to go for professionalism and qualities. Now we want to keep Nigeria as one, and we want to remove that feeling of segregation and what do you call it? Intimidations and other things that people that think that they have been excluded from the government. We have to remove that first. And the way to remove that first is to have all-inclusive government that is concerned with everybody, that is appointing everybody, every ethnic, every group, every section. No one will say no. And we have to identify some that are not sincere. If they say there is no this tribe in this section, maybe we have, it is a whole house. Some are in the security, some are in this, some are in this. But some people will now look at where their language is or their people are not fully represented. They will talk about that, but forget that in the other place they are the dominants. They dominated everything. What we need is respect and sincerity. If we have that, then we now come and teach ourselves how to agree that yes, we are all Nigerians. We want Nigeria, that we all Nigerians believe in Nigeria. I would like to give you an example. There is what we call the National Day in America. They have it as a national day, and we call it Independence Day. During the celebration of the National Day in America, you will hardly find a single home, a single house that will not have the flag of the nation flying on it. And then the flag will be bought by that family. They will hang it that today I will celebrate my country. How many flags have you noticed during the independence of Nigeria, the most recent one? Who will dare use his money to buy flag of Nigeria? Did we really believe in Nigeria? That is the question. And we have to start preaching that instead of preaching Hausanization or Fulanization of Nigeria or Ibonization. It is only in Nigeria you have this kind of language, this grammar. Fulanization, Hausanization, what do you want? We have to stop it. I am not pointing a finger of blame to anybody, but to all of us. We are not doing the right thing. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you very much, Sheikh. MK, do you have something else to say?
I'll take it later on. Just go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Sheikh, for your responses to the question. Before I go ahead with my question, because my question is on the how. With all that you've said, we have the reality going on in Nigeria. How do we make Nigerians respond positively to what's going on? How do we bring the culprits, the terrorists, and all of these people to justice is the how. How do we move on from where we are right now to where we are expected to be? But before you respond to that, Sheikh, I want to welcome more people. I see them joining in. Welcome to this room. This is an ICON room, International Committee on Nigeria. And we advocate for the right to live, the right to religious freedom, and then we protect the vulnerable against all forms of persecution right here in Nigeria. To know more about what we do, what's going on in Nigeria, I know a lot of us know about that, but to know more and more and all that we've done, because we've been collating data about the killings in northern Nigeria, Middle Belt, and where have you, you can go to our social media platforms. ICON Help on Facebook, ICON Help One on Instagram, on Twitter, and you can go to our YouTube channel, icon/PSJ Media. You would find a lot of resources, and you can also visit our website, iconhelp.org, to get that. So welcome again, everybody. If you have questions to ask or you want to engage Sheikh Mohammed Duru Khalid, you are quite invited to do that. I see some people on the stage already. Thank you for respectfully muting your mics, but feel free to engage him. So I come back to my question, sir, on the how. How can we move on from where we are right now in Nigeria with the killings, with the is it Boko Haram? Is it Fulani militias? Is it bandits? Like all that is happening with the insecurity, how do we move on from this point to the next point for positivity and a better Nigeria, sir?
Well, I think in every nation that you find development and peaceful coexistence, one thing is present. That is true patriotism. If we are not patriotic, if we don't believe in Nigeria, if we don't sacrifice for Nigeria, we can't get what we want. How can you win a war with a military that members of that military are not ready to die for the country? How can you move forward with a country, some politicians that are not there to sacrifice for the country, but they are there to loot the country? How can you move forward in a country where the majority of the citizens of that country are not ready to sacrifice for the country? I think what we need is patriotism. If we understand what is patriotism, and we are ready to sacrifice for the country, and if we are ready to think of what to give Nigeria, I repeat this because of its importance. We are going to win the battle if majority of Nigerians think of what to offer to Nigeria, not what to gain from Nigeria. When we are ready to vote for people because they are competent, not because they speak our languages, not because they are from our religion, not because they are from our part, but because they can deliver. If our National Assembly has members, majority of them are representing the interests of the common man and the interests of the nation, then we are going to win the battle. But today, unfortunately, that is what we are not seeing.
Okay, the floor is open. Just flash your mic and we would recognize you if you want to sort of ask any question or make any comments. We'll just give you the recognition for those of us who have indicated and come up. If you have any question or any comments, flash your mic. We would recognize you and you would have the floor to make your comments and your question. While we are looking to have people, Abdul Wasiu, we see you. So go ahead, take the floor.
No, please hold on, MK. Before Abdul Wasiu goes ahead, I want to let you know that this room is being recorded and is broadcasted on our YouTube channel, okay? So for people that came in after this announcement, I'm making it again. The room is being recorded and it's broadcasted on our YouTube channel, icon/PSJ Media on YouTube. Okay, so Abdul Wasiu, you can go ahead.
Okay, yeah, good evening. Good evening, Sheikh.
Good evening, how are you?
Fine, sir. Okay, my question is, the Nigeria example, the Nigerian experiment, to me is quite different from America or most of the Western countries. So before the creation of Nigeria, there were ethnic nationalities in this space called Nigerian today. So the question is, if we want to have a national identity where people, irrespective of their ethnicity or religion, get position of power, the question is who sacrifice, who is now ready to sacrifice his culture, his way of life that have been in place before the coming of the British? Because it's very easy to say.
Come again.
Oh, okay. I said the British experiment in Nigeria is quite different from what happened in the United States of America. So the question is, if we must sacrifice and look beyond ethnicity or our differences, the question is who gets to sacrifice that? So who gets to sacrifice his culture, his way of life, for the benefit of the whole nation?
I don't mean that we are to sacrifice our culture for the benefit of the nation, but I want to say that we have to appreciate, respect, and love other people's nature. Let me welcome you in your own language. Ekabu, Shedadani. I think I'm correct. Am I correct?
You are.
Then how did I learn your language? And how did I by name know your language? Because I respect Yoruba, even though I'm not one. If all our leaders can do this from the bottom of their minds, we are going there. I respect Yoruba language. I respect Yoruba culture. I tolerate what I don't like from them. I will not express it to them that I don't like this. I will tolerate it because I know they can't sacrifice. I can't. They can't do without it. Then they have to do the same thing with me. And if we can do that, then we are going there. There are cultures in America. Recently, Biden has a meeting, had a meeting with the leaders of different groups. I mean, different cultures that were at the bottom of of America. So they have their own cultures. There are some foreigners that came from other places. They have their own background, but they tolerate one another. So if we can tolerate one another, respect one another, and tap from the potentialities Yorubas have for the benefit of the nation, tap from the potentialities Fulanis have for the benefit of the nation, and the good things that the Igbos have for the benefit of the nation, then we are moving together forward towards development, and we are going there. Thank you very much.
Okay, Sheikh, thank you for persisting on the issue of respect. I'll ask two questions in a row. One is the question that if you look at Europe, Europe is a union of different cultures. Yes, union of states, republics of different cultures. The Scandinavians, the Dutch, the Portuguese, the French, mention all of them. There is no European nation, even where, like in Switzerland, where you have three different ethnic nations, they established a model, a system, a political model that legally shows respect for their diversity, which you are calling for, so that diversity is not some sort of ideal that does not have form in the way that the structure of the country is arranged. If you live there and go to India, India has about 100 and something federations. Each of them, some of them are even very small compared to their listing, but India gives them a sort of independent and republican status. And so they create a federal republic of republics of India, where they are able to preserve their culture, they're able to preserve their religion, they're able to preserve their language, and they're able to pursue the best of human ideals to contribute to India the way you have said it. In Nigeria, it will seem that these laws, for instance, the founding fathers of Nigeria negotiated Nigeria on the basis of federations, of diverse groups. You found the Yoruba was Western Nigeria. You found that the Igbos were largely in eastern Nigeria, and over time, the minorities in Europe, in the western Nigeria, were pulled out to form, and of course, after some time, after the Biafra agitations, the minorities of these things, and then, of course, this had been like what the Willings Commission report had identified, and the Middle Belt through Joseph Tucker and all that had also been agitating for respecting the identity within law and within the federal arrangements. And currently, one of the reasons why we have a lot of this conflict is that respect for that is not established within both, even in the federal character, as bad as the Constitution is, and of course, in the way that appointments are made, and so on and so forth. What are your thoughts on this? That's the first question. And how do you think this should be resolved at a political level? The second question is sort of a challenge to the type of recommendations you are making, is of organizing, because we can come everywhere, we can say it, is that there are practical ways of organizing and challenging some of these things, if you believe in them, that we must have a structure of respect. Do you have practical ways of organizing your constituency, whether as a Muslim or as a person of identity in the Hausa Fulani side? Do you have organizations, groups that are challenging this system and say this system is bad, but I am committed to pushing this agenda beyond just preaching in the mosque and telling people that I want to enter into the National Assembly, I want to enter into the state assemblies, I want to enter into the streets and everywhere to make sure that the government listen to this and join forces with all such groups? Do you have any such group? And do you have any interest in such groups? Are you willing to drive that kind of an arrangement so that these whole issues that inspire insecurity can sort of be dealt with in a very legal and concrete way, rather than in terms of promoting mere ideas? Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. I call your questions technical. You see, first of all, I want to tell you that if really we want to reshuffle Nigeria and to drive our diversity into something that is going to help us, into ideals that are going to keep the vehicle of Nigeria in motion, we have to, first of all, respect them, but remove them in our way of doing national things. For instance, there are some things that are professionals. They need to be approached in a professional ways, like civil service. When you enter into civil service from whatever level, and you now build a career and become a director, what is the next appointment? You either become a director general or you become a permanent secretary. Now, you build a career by profession, by working hard. Now you come to the high peak of that career, and now you are exposed to quota or whatever, that your indigenous slots has been exhausted, therefore you are not going to be a permanent secretary. This is injustice. And this is promoting what will now create a kind of enmity between some ethnic groups. So we have to thank our forefathers that fought for the Federation of Nigeria, but we have to bring a true federalism by acknowledging these groups and these clans and other tribes. The Middle Belts should be treated very well and respected as people of Nigeria. Because they are minority in the north, they shouldn't be seen as something unimportant. They are important and they are to be treated like that. We have to create a kind of equality between the minority and the majority. Where the majority will be of importance is when it's come to vote. But when it's come to other appointments, we have to be careful how we treat the minority and this and that. Now, coming to how can I participate in changing the narratives? Did I have any? Yes, I think I have a very good network. But maybe you may think it is not that important, but it's very strong nowadays. I have my platform, aside from the mosque, the Friday sermon. I have the social media handles that I use to promote interfaith dialogue and other activities. And it is very effective if you look at the comments that are coming from people, whether for or against the move, but you will agree that it is creating awareness within the Muslims and the Christians that there is the need for us to start looking at ourselves as people, not allowing religion to divide us more and to create enmity. As for whether I want to join the rest of the politics or to join the National Assembly as a member, that is to become a partisan politician.
No,
I don't think I have
politics, Mohammed Sheikh. We're talking of a civil engagement, challenging them to sort of follow the rules of the Nigerian Federation or even change the structure. You just raised the issue of respecting the minorities of the Middle Belt or the minorities of Southern Nigeria, that's the Niger Delta. Is there a way where we can use some of those your vehicles and join with other people to actively insist beyond promoting the idea? Because what you're doing now is what you're doing, promoting the ideals that we have. But these ideals do not have legal consequence within the space. And that's why I gave the example of the European Union, Scandinavian countries. All of them are ethnicities. They are, even though we think of them differently, but in actual, the Portuguese is in Portuguese. If you go to America, they are republics. Republic of California is Republic of California, and it has power to some extent to managing the rules in California that the federal government cannot intervene. So some of these issues are some of the issues that we think that we need to give some sort of a stronger legal hold, legal expression, so that people can then have rights. For instance, you see Wike challenging VAT because the law of who collects VAT is situated in the states. But the federal government has usurped that law, even though it is not, and they went behind to change it. But if we create those type of laws and strengthen them, we can then better able to say, okay, within this framework, you cannot touch because it is the power of Yoruba people to legislate for this, or Igbo people, or Hausa people, or minorities of Middle Belt to legislate. But for the other things that are common to us, which is what federalism is, we can legislate. Are you willing in practical ways to say, okay, supposing Genocide Club or some people in Yoruba land or Igbo land are wanting to join you and say, let us jointly challenge the authorities and say, look, not to participate and be, but to begin to challenge them, because when they see, in my view, that people of diversity from different ethnic groups, from different religions, are banding together and say, we must stop this issue where we continue to violate the land use decree, for instance, where people can abuse the land use decree because they have power over security, or they have power over, or create conditions of suspicion of complicity. That's the type of interventions that I'm sort of challenging to see how you think about it.
Thank you very much for that clarification. Yeah, I'm ever ready to be part of any movement that is legally and humanly right. And I have a guide that is my religion. I must do whatever I'm doing in line with my religion. And I know my religion always support justice. And that is why if it is in promoting justice, I will join any group that wants to engage me in challenging injustice, whether it's from my people or from any other people. And my discussion this evening is part of testimony that I'm ready to do. Because I didn't say because ICON is not a Muslims or Islamic platform, I will not join it. I join anything which is service to humanity, which is promoting development in Nigeria, and which is helping the cause of our nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sheikh Mohammed Nurul Khalid. We appreciate you. We appreciate your humanity, your human rights activism. We say thank you to that. I just have this simple, very basic question just hovering in my mind. And it's the point when you said that you people have been commenting on all the work that you've been doing on your social media platforms. And I'm wondering, are they executing what you have said, or is it has awareness trans trans like transformed to execution, or are we just at the place of creating awareness about what's going on in Nigeria? So are there groups within your communities that are already executing your sermons, your awareness creation, what you've been talking about on social media platforms and all of that? Or are they just commenting on, oh, what a good job that you're doing and all of that? Are they practicalizing what you preach about? Is my question.
I think we have begun to move from awareness to practical scenario, because I have seen even my children and my students at school portraying the importance of unity, harmony, and togetherness. Even in this in the university, my undergraduate son invited me tomorrow to be a guest speaker in their school, that is Nasarawa State University, Kefi, to deliver a talk about how to orient the students to pursue standards, that is academic standards, instead of engaging in religious and ethnic conflicts. So you see, it is it is an testimony. It is a testimony that my children, even my followers, are starting practicalizing the idea of unity and harmony in Nigeria. So I think it's beyond just, awareness.
Thank you so much for that. Do we have people with questions or some opinions that you want to engage the Sheikh with? People on stage, you can flash your mics. And if you're in the audience, please let us know. Okay, I see Iman. Iman, you can unmute and ask your question.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, Iman,
yes, we can.
Oh, fantastic. So, since he tried to, I think the Sheikh spoke a little bit of Yoruba. I was very impressed. You know, so I'll say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I think if I remember correctly, that's something, peace be unto you and God's mercies and blessings or something. If I pronounced it wrongly, forgive me.
Don't worry.
So, so I hear you speak, But I think one of the problems fundamentally that I have with Nigeria is the idea that somehow we must all evolve this Nigerian identity. But I believe that to evolve a singular identity, a singular unitary identity in Nigeria, it would mean that some of us would have to give up parts of our culture, parts of who we are, in order to fold ourselves into a singularity. Because if you look at the United States of America, for example, you had German immigrants, Polish, people from Iceland, Italy. They all decided, well, a set of people voted and decided to speak, English, because fundamentally the 13 colonies, the original colonies of America, were created by the British, fundamentally. So in the end, the English culture kind of held sway in that country. And that is the reason why they speak English today. They could have been speaking German, but somehow it's English they speak today. While each of those groups still maintain a little bit of their cultures, some of their cultures have actually been subsumed into the national identity that we call America. Now, they were able to achieve that 200 and something years ago. But today, in the 21st century, where we are today, do you really think, this is my first question, do you really think it is actually, I mean, if we're facing reality, do you really think it's possible for the 200 and something ethnic groups in that country to forge a singular identity? Because it would mean giving up parts of who you are. What are your thoughts?
I think it is quite possible because we have started. Now I'm speaking English with you. I don't know whether you are Igbo. I could have spoken a little Igbo for you and say Kedun, Keme, Kemaka here. So you can see we have already sacrificed our language and adopted a national and official language, which is English. Then gradually, if there is awareness and there is sacrifice from our leaders, then we are going to sacrifice some of our cultures to build national identity. You can have national identity without sacrifice, I agree, without sacrificing some of your local culture. But the bottom line is, before I ask you to sacrifice something for you, for me, or for us together, you must believe in that thing that I want you to sacrifice for. Let's believe in Nigeria first. Let's believe that we must build a national identity first. Then by doing so, we now agree that, yes, Hausas must sacrifice certain culture. In Igbos, Yorubas must sacrifice certain culture. Mode of dress is part of culture. If you look at us, all of us, you've seen that we have adapted some other cultures. So with time, we are going there. But the most important thing is, let's have faith in Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay, my second question, because you've just said that we have to first believe in Nigeria. Now, Nigeria as a geographical expression, as a construct, has been alive as an independent nation for 61 years. Times 365 days is 22,000, my maths, I think 22,265 days or something, if my maths is correct. Now, for that length of time, every single day, Nigeria has happened to every single citizen that lives in that country. How then do we actually begin to believe in Nigeria first? And these are your words. You said we should believe in Nigeria first. How do we do that, given what has happened every day since the day that country became independent, please?
It is very difficult, but it is simple if we agree that we need it. That is the only thing that will make it simple. When we all agree, or majority of us agree that we need it, because it is, yes, a geographical setup. Even my own home is a geographical setup. but I need it. My local community is a geographical setup, and I need it, and I have to protect it. It is the Almighty that divinely used the Europeans to set up that geographical location and call it Nigeria. Yes, we have problem. Every day there is a new problem and another one. Yes, we have all the problems. Then if we have the problems, then must we say that because we have problem, we are to create more problems? No, we have to solve the problem. And one of the ways of solving that problems, or the only way to solving that problem, is believing in Nigeria. Therefore, we can do that. And how to do that is by having a true Nigerians who are elites, a true elites Nigerians who can change the narratives by using these kind of platforms and other ways, by changing our political methods, by changing our way of governance, and by changing of many things. Thank you.
Okay, let me intervene before, by asking a question before maybe I give to some other person to sort of also.
Makaya, I just have one more question after
Iman,
you.
can you hold on a bit? Sorry, Iman.
Yeah, I can. Just put me on the queue.
Yes.
Yeah, add me to the queue. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
The idea of, because I raised the idea of giving legal expression to this sense of respect so that it is not an ideal, but is concrete. And I gave the example of the way Europe, which was imperial and fighting amongst themselves for a long time, began to reorganize and create republics. And then later on, when they discovered that they've been able to find peace in themselves, the French, the Germans, the Portuguese, the Spaniards, the English, all of them began to create republics based on their own separate identity. And now they've sort of set up a union, an European Union, where they respect their republics, independent republics, their language, their culture, their customs in their respective republics, but they are united, which is the same thing America did, except that in America, there was no territorial limitations to where any person say, because most of them came from outside and first wiped out the indigenous people, the aborigines of America, and then they created something that overact their European identities. And in Nigeria, there has been consistent agitation. Yes, there has been consistent agitation that there should be some restructured Nigeria, that we need to have a federation that looks more like what the European Union is. What is your take, and how do you try see this Nigeria? Because you must define the Nigeria that we must all be loyal to. And my view is that if we have to be loyal to a Nigeria, that Nigeria must respect our political rights, our economic rights, our civic and social and cultural rights in such a way that, oh, I can see that I will fight for this Nigeria because this Nigeria actually protects my rights as a religious or identity person. But what is your take about the agitation? Because at the bottom of all of this is, for instance, the land rights of the minorities in the Middle Belt, which is a big problem now, and it's at the bottom of the conflict. What is your take about this kind of Nigeria that you want us to respect? Because we want to respect Nigeria, but we want to respect it because it is a Nigeria whose laws, whose systems protect and respect all of us so that we can give our life if possible, because it gives us the basis to do that. Thank you.
Well, I want to reaffirm the notion that there is agitation, but it's agitation. And when there are agitations, what will solve that agitation is fair listening. If we can listen to the agitation and try to explain to them or solve their problems if it is solvable, then we are going to remove that agitation. Therefore, to bring a Nigeria that Nigerians believe in, we need to sit down on a table and discuss all the agitations. Is it from the Middle Belt, the Biafra, whatever? If we can sit down and say, yes, what are the agitations? What must we do to solve this problem once and for all? And after, at the end, we agree to believe in Nigeria and respect our cultures and religions, then we can move forward and get a Nigeria that we love, a Nigeria that we believe in, a Nigeria that we respect, a Nigeria that we can die for. That is my own take to that.
Any person that has any questions, please, the floor is open. Ijele, please go ahead. Ijele, you are flashing.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Oh.
Yes, we can hear you, Ijele, yes.
All right, greetings, everyone. This room has been very educating. I have a question for Mohammed. And Mohammed, I thank you for all your submissions so far.
Thank you.
I beg to ask, a constitution or a holy book, which law should take preeminence over a state? That's the first one. The second one is an Islamic state or a secular state. Which do you prefer and why? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think the two questions are one, if we look at them critically. Because if we agree to have a constitution instead of a spiritual book, then we agree in secular states. But if we take the Quran, for instance, to be our constitution, then we have an Islamic state. For now, if I am calling to have a Nigeria which includes the Igbos who are predominantly Christians, then I'm calling for a secular Nigeria. Therefore, I think the answer is clear. I prefer to see a secular Nigeria because I know it is impossible to have an Islamic state called Nigeria. Only if we are going to remove the Igbo land, the Niger Delta, the Niger Delta, or the South, the Middle Belt, and part of Yoruba, then we can now have an Islamic state, which is not simple. So I think we better take what is possible and easier to have in this world that we are living. Thank you.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
Prince.
Do we have Prince? Okay, let's have a few more questions. I just want to step in here, people, and say welcome to this room. It has been a very interesting engagement, and it's the way forward. This is an ICON room. ICON is International Committee on Nigeria. We advocate for the right to live, the right to religious freedom, and we also protect the rights of the vulnerable against all forms of persecution in Nigeria. So we've been having this discussion with Sheikh Mohammed Nuru Khalid, who is the Imam of Apple Legislatives here in Abuja, Nigeria, and this has been quite interesting. The room would soon end, but we'll still give room for people. We would be back again next week, people. So if you have more questions and we don't get to you or your opinions to share, we would open the room again. On that note, I will give you MK so that more people, maybe up to 4 people, can ask this question. Sheikh, is that okay?
Okay, we are about to pray.
I heard that. So people, let's understand with the Sheikh, he has given us enough time and we are really appreciative. How many questions can you take more, sir?
Well, depending, if we can get short 2 questions, please, because I can see Murtala is trying to flash his, I don't know whether he's no more there interested. Okay, someone is doing that.
Okay, So MK, let's have two more questions.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. I'm already satisfied with all that has been going on. So, and the time for prayer is about to. So
Okay,
I have
thank you.
nothing to say now. Thank you.
Thank you, Murtala.
Okay, Prince, let's give you time before we close down.
Oh, thank you, my brother MK. Assalamu alaikum, Alaji.
Alaikum salam.
May God be with you. Thank you for the opportunity to ask you this question.
Thank you.
This is a question I posed to many of my northern friends and all that. And I know their opinion is varied based on their answer and all that. You mentioned the situation of us working for one Nigeria, giving up most part of our identity, and we are already going that route already by speaking English to one another. But my question is this. All the other parts of Nigeria are trying to work with this Nigeria project. But in terms of northern part of Nigeria, we see that the people of the northern part of Nigeria are now rooting for how we are going to be speaking Arab, how we are going to be inserting Arab to our curriculum, how we are going to be inserting Arabic into our speaking culture and all that. And secondly, in terms of that's in terms of language now that you say we are already giving up our language. So I noticed that people in the north are now adopting more Arab than English, that we all believe that is the number one language of all Nigerians. Secondly, in terms of law, I see that my people from the north, not everybody from the north, but majority people from the north tend to want other law that is different from the national law, which is different from the national law. So I don't know, maybe you can address the room for the few minutes you have to put light into this as well. Thank you very much, Malam. May God be with you.
Thank you very much, Prince. You see, the issue of Arabic language is very vital to every Muslim because it is the language of the Quran. And if we are praying, you can't understand what we are saying if you don't understand Arabic, because all the prayers are in Arabic. Now, we need Arabic to be Muslims. We need English to be Nigerians. And it is is just a matter of time to understand that you people have to tolerate us when we are learning Arabic or using Arabic for religious purposes. And then we have to learn English to use it in offices and other things. But I don't think I will support any Muslim using Arabic in official issues. Now, coming to the Sharia law, that is what you are talking about. If we can have true federalism in Nigeria, then some state can practice Sharia and others can practice anything they want. But if we can't go for that, then we have to look at our constitution very well and understand what it says and what is need to be changed or to modify. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sheikh. Yeah, Prince, thank you for that. So thank you. I'm jumping in and I sound like I'm in a rush because I understand that Sheikh is going to jump into prayer now and it's running late. And on that, I would say, Sheikh, thank you so much, sir. We appreciate you. We honor you for accepting the invitation, for coming in, settling down and engaging with us. It's quite educative and we hope that we'll have you again next week. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic evening and we will talk to you soon, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sheikh, from the moderators and all members of the team here. We deeply appreciate you. We want your voice more because the more we have your voice come to join us and your likes come here to join us, the more our people are better educated and are able to see perspectives from more ideological and philosophical rather than dogmatic perspectives. You've given us a lot of light here, and we want to encourage you to come over and over. Next week, we are hoping to, our next session, we are hoping to bring you. We've had Bishop Kwashe. We'll probably also bring both of you so that we can begin to have a shared perspective how religion and ethnicity can be used to moderate the challenges and influence thoughts so that Nigerians can begin to think towards the type of ideas of true federalism that you've had. Thank you so much. God bless you. I wish I can speak Arabic and Hausa to...
I can help you, MK.
So now go there. Thank you very much. MK, now go there. Say Anjima Kahuta Gajia.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, this is an icon room, people, and we're wrapping up. But next week, like MK just said, we're bringing Archbishop Benjamin Kwashi and this same sheikh to come together so we can look at the issues on ethnicity and religion. We know that those two play a huge role when we talk about Nigeria and Nigerians, and it's something we want to dig in with two respectful people and two renowned people who are about human rights, humanity, and humanitarian services and the way forward. Again, thank you everyone for joining in today. If you want to know more about ICON, more about what we've done, because we have a lot of documentaries, a lot of documentation about the killings, especially in northern Nigeria and Middle Belt. You can check our website at iconhelp.org. You can follow us on our social media platforms, Icon Help on Facebook, Icon Help One on Instagram and Twitter, and on YouTube, you can subscribe to our channel, which is icon/PSJ Media. This room, again, I would say, has been recorded and has been broadcasted. And the link that I've pinned up above myself and up the stage is the recording. So you can always go there to have a replay, to rewatch it, and to engage more for next week. But thank you so much, everyone for coming in. We appreciate you. My name is Venyo. As you can see, this is just for the audience outside of Clubhouse. And MK, you are such an amazing co-moderator. Thank you so much. Thank you, Auntie Tosin. I can see you. Thank you, everyone that has come on stage. Thank you to everyone that has jumped into the room, whether you came in and went back out or you stayed in. We appreciate you. On this note, I will say have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you again soon next week. If you haven't joined the club, please just click on the green button above so you can join the Genocide and Rights Abuse room. From me, from MK, and from everyone who is part of us, we say bye-bye. I'll close the room in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, and in 1. See you all next time.